Welcome to today's special program, where we will explore Ethiopia's ambitious strides toward achieving food security and sovereignty. With initiatives like the Bounty of Basket and the 10 in 10 programs, the government is making significant efforts to enhance agricultural productivity. The Ethiopian News Agency, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, the National Disaster Prevention Commission, and the Ministry of Communication Service panel discussion has organized a critical panel discussion on food sovereignty. We'll delve into the country's push towards food security and food self-sufficiency. ENA has been at the forefront of organizing discussions on food sovereignty, with 14 forums held in the past year alone. The government of Ethiopia had been making significant efforts to enhance agricultural productivity.
ኢትዮጵያ ዜና አገልግሎት አጋር ተቋማት ጋር በመተባበር አገራችን የምግብ ሉዓላዊነትን
In collaboration with Minister of Agriculture, National Disaster Prevention, we have prepared this panel discussion to exchange and share ideas and ensure that our country achieves food sovereignty. Through this exchange of ideas, we can all work together in a practical way within our respective sectors to become more effective. This panel discussion has been organized with the aim of discussing what the agriculture sector is currently accomplishing in terms of enhancing national sovereignty, the actions being taken by the Disaster Risk Management Commission to safeguard our food sovereignty, and the challenges encountered along the way. Additionally, we believe this panel will foster understanding of the productive role of media and communication efforts in supporting these endeavors, and the kind of partnerships needed between media communicators and the relevant institutions in various sectors.
ኢትዮጵያ ባለፉት ዓመታት ከያዘቻቸው ቁልፍ ሀገራዊ አጀንዳዎች አንዱ
Ethiopia's key agenda in recent years has been safeguarding national sovereignty, and it is widely recognized that achieving food sovereignty plays a crucial role in supporting this goal. In the past years, the issue of food sovereignty has not only been a national priority but has also started to yield results in various areas through the efforts made in practice. The agenda to secure food sovereignty as a way of ensuring Ethiopia's sovereignty was initiated with the belief that by turning it into a practical reality, we could deliver results. This agenda has now begun to show tangible outcomes. The Ethiopian News Agency is delighted to have organized this panel discussion, and I hope that today's panel will be effective in advancing the sovereignty and productivity agenda at the individual, community, government, and institutional levels.
እርዳታ በራሱ ጥሩም ወይም መጥፎ ለምንለው አይደለም።
Foreign aid, in and of itself, is neither inherently good nor bad. It is not permanent nor a substitute. It serves as support for efforts aimed at self-sufficiency. Currently, as we observe on a global scale, the demand for international aid, whether desired or not, is decreasing. In some countries, citizens are questioning why aid should be directed elsewhere instead of addressing internal political conditions. Governments are under pressure to reduce the aid they provide due to their own internal challenges. Even if we desire it, aid is something that will inevitably decrease. We acknowledge that it is not sustainable. It is also not something that arrives without preconditions. There are conditionalities tied to the provision of aid. Therefore, recognizing its temporary nature, we must focus on selected forms of support. For example, the type of capacity building provided by institutions like JITSA, Japan International Cooperation Agency, through Kaizen, aimed at improving productivity, is exceptionally valuable. Utilizing such assistance will help enhance our productivity. There are also other types of non-governmental aid, such as from the Bill Gates Foundation and MasterCard Foundation, which offer unique and significant support that should also be utilized effectively.
Ministry of Agriculture, due to various unique circumstances, has had to prioritize certain policies and strategies, focusing primarily on major agricultural commodities. Since it is difficult to address all sectors at the same time, we have concentrated on 10 major commodities in 10-year time frame to ensure the food security of citizens. For instance, the wheat initiative was one of the first. As a result of our focus on wheat, we have achieved the ability to produce wheat in summer, winter, in highland, lowland and through irrigation. This has led to a shift in the public's perception, instilling a sense of confidence in what we can achieve. Secondly, for the first time in over 60 years, we have been able to produce sufficient wheat domestically and even export surplus wheat to international markets. Additionally, we have come to realize that we have not fully utilized some of our virtues, particularly in the livestock sector. With renewed focus, we are working to improve productivity in this area. Furthermore, 2 years ago, our Honorable Prime Minister launched the Bounty of the Basket initiative, and as of now, in terms of eggs, chicken meat, milk, fish, and honey production, we are significantly advancing compared to where we were before. This progress is not only enhancing production, but also creating a positive impact on the market. This success is the result of the efforts of the Ministry of Agriculture. While ensuring food security remains the main focus of the Ministry of Agriculture, it is not a task they can accomplish alone. Therefore, I call upon all of us to work together to achieve this goal. I also express my gratitude to those who have contributed to making this effort a success.
ላረጉት አካላት ምስጋናዬን አቀርባለሁ። በጣም እጅግ አድርጌ አመሰግናለሁ።
የምግብ ሉዓላዊነት ማለት ምን ማለት ነው?
What does food sovereignty mean? How is food sovereignty measured? When we look at it, food sovereignty can be achieved at the individual level, at the community level, at the regional level, and at the national level. When we talk about sovereignty, we are talking about freedom, and food is one of the pillars of that freedom. What does the current situation look like? How many farmers are there in production safety nets? What percentage of the population does that cover? Additionally, those who are internally displaced, living in exile, or in a vulnerable state, all of these are key considerations when working to ensure food sovereignty. For example, if we take 2 samples and look at them, the productivity of wheat is green at the top and yellow at the bottom. This line indicates the international standard of production output. We have identified where we need to work to achieve our desired results. Now, we are working to reach the level of global productivity standards. This will take 2 years. These were the products that previously required significant expenditure. However, now, slowly but surely, production is being carried out domestically. Food security and food sovereignty are different. Some countries have secured food security without achieving food sovereignty. A country, society, or individual can face challenges to food security without having food sovereignty. Without speaking much, as we continue our work and demonstrate results, your participation is essential, and I emphasize that point.
በዕለቱ የተመረጠው ይሄ ሉዓላዊነት በምርታማነት በጣም ተስማሚ የሆነ ርዕስ ነው።
Sovereignty through productivity is very fitting title. When we consider the sovereignty of nations, food sovereignty stands out as a necessity that must be achieved through the efforts of all sectors. To address the question of why sovereignty is important, I raise 3 points. 1. The world, while striving for its own sovereignty, is still far from readiness and commitment to ensuring that every nation achieves the level of needed for sovereignty. Therefore, it is incorrect to assume that others will take this lightly. Sovereignty, especially in times of crisis, is not simply a theoretical concept. It involves a comprehensive approach to both internal and external sovereignty, as well as economic sovereignty. During a crisis, the primary responsibility and actor is the government. When the government fails to fulfill this responsibility, others may intervene, which has implications for the country's peace and security. We are aware of the importance of working in this sector. When a crisis intensifies and becomes a container, the public will be affected. A distressed public is vulnerable to all kinds of issues, which may expose them to external threats. This is why we discuss the national security agenda. It is essential to elevate crisis leadership beyond just policy, but also to ensure it does not compromise the country's readiness and integrity. 2. The second point is the agenda of social justice. Elevating this agenda is crucial as it brings governments to accountability and beyond. It also encompasses human rights issues and the sustainable development agenda. The core point is that crisis leadership determines the survival of a country and demonstrates the influence it has, from crisis management to sustainable development. A society that does not control its own resources cannot discuss true sovereignty. Hence, contributing to sovereignty from our respective positions is vital. Support, or assistance, comes from shared values and thoughts.
መልካም ጊዜ ይሁን።
አሁን ዛሬ እዚህ የተሰባሰብንበት ዋነኛው ጉዳይ የምግብ ሉዓላዊነትን እንደ ሀገር ማረጋገጥ ነውና ያንን ለማሳካት
When we look at the current media environment in our country, the media sector is not fully developed. As we all agree, one of the things that need constant improvement is the communication sector. Strengthening this sector is essential for achieving many of the national objectives we desire. The first major role of the media is to create awareness. Another important role is to shape perceptions. Media and communication have a very significant role in helping us determine how to bring about change. One of the major successes of the media in the past was raising awareness about issues such as the Green Legacy Initiative, wheat production, and other environmental conservation efforts. These are all community-driven movements, and to foster such movements, the role of media and communication is crucial. It is through the work of media that we can communicate our achievements, shift perspectives, and mobilize society. This is what is expected of the media and communication sector to help us narrate our success stories, change viewpoints, and engage the community. Thank you very much.
ማለት ነው ከልብ አመሰግናለሁ።
By investing in innovative technologies and fostering partnerships with farmers, Ethiopia aims to not only feed its population but also build resilience against future challenges. This holistic approach underscores the importance of self-sufficiency and the vital role of agriculture in the nation's development. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more insights into Ethiopia's journey toward a food-secure future.